it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles. And today I got kind of a topic I want to discuss, and I really want to discuss it. So if you want to comment on this, that'd be great. And if I can, I'll answer back and we can kind of have a discussion. It's been kind of on my mind recently, and without getting into, anything too like concrete and too specific, there's been drama that's popped up in the reptile community. This isn't the first time. Since my time in the community, I've seen that drama pop up. And that's one thing I kind of want to look at is, what are we? What are we as a whole, and what are we moving towards? I know a lot of people that are on here, they watch because they have a snake, or they want a snake, or they want to learn about snakes or different morphs. A lot of people, are breeding or want to breed. Some just want a pet. And I know whenever I first got into this, one of the things you always hear about is this community. And there were times that I would find people who were very much part of a community who wanted to reach out, wanted to spend some time, and wanted to help you, wanted to talk to you, wanted to make sure you were learning the right way. And I found other people whose only interest was in trying to destroy you. And I'm talking about new folks, like trying to destroy new people coming in. And that was a kind of a struggle. So what I kind of found was, for me anyway, getting in, one of the first places you go to is, of course, you're going to go to, the internet, right? You're going to go on Google, and you're going to type in Google whatever you want to know, and you're going to read a lot of articles. At least I did. I read a lot of articles, a lot of papers, a lot of the old forums that were out there, a lot of the information in those. Then you also find people on YouTube. And I watched a lot of YouTube, a lot of different people, whether it was the snake bites, whether it was Brian Gundy, Brian Gundy. And the Gundy, I know you watch this occasionally, dude. I learned a lot from watching you too. That is a very, very underappreciated channel, is Brian Gundy's. That guy's a wealth of knowledge. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from a lot of those places. And then you also start going on Facebook, and you find these groups. And this isn't targeted at a specific group. I'm talking, there's hundreds of ball python and reptile groups out there on Facebook, okay? Tons of them. And you go on one of those groups. And one thing I noticed pretty quick, and when I came to the group, I had some knowledge. I'd done a lot of research before I got some of those groups. And when you start researching things, you're going to find, a few different ways of doing things. You have to kind of pick what way works best for you. And in those groups, one thing I found was you'd have a handful of people who were helpful. And there were people who, if I reached out to, even though I was pretty new at it and everything else, would take the time to help me out. And I appreciated those people. I still appreciate what those people did today. Okay? But I also found that there was a ton of people in those who just wanted to tear into folks. And what I mean is, I didn't, see it so much with me, because I wasn't, who I really see it with is you get a guy that'd come on there, and he'd go on a Facebook group. And he would, find a really large group, and he would join it. And he would say, hey, look, here's my ball python I bought at Petco, and here's all the setup they sold me. And of course it's this Petco setup. And we all know, if you're watching here and you've been watching for a while, you obviously know more than most people at the Petco setups do. And of course the setup's wrong. They got this really bright light shining down on it the whole time. And, it's got horrid bedding or whatever the guy at Petco thought was right. That doesn't mean that everybody at Petco and every Petco in the world sucks. That's not what I'm saying. But we've seen it. I know you've seen what I'm talking about. And, instead of somebody going, hey, man, this is great. I'm so excited for you got a ball python, but here's a couple things we should talk about. And sometimes you would get that and then go, oh, this is what Petco told me. Instead of going, yeah, I know, they provide you something being nice. You may get one guy that does that. Then you get the next guy who goes, man, you're a moron. You should have done your research before buying an animal. You don't deserve to have that. And just rip into this guy. And then the next guy rips into him. Then the next guy rips into him. Then the next guy rips into him. And you look at that, and I found myself reaching out to a lot of these people and actually messaging them and saying, hey, I'm sorry that happened to you. And I'm here to help you if I can. But the fact of the matter is, if we're a community, okay, if we're going to be this ball python community, right? Or this reptile community, which is what I want us to be. And you're always, I don't care what community you live in, every community's got a few buttholes. Okay, we're going to have those. We're not going to fix everybody, not everybody's going to get in line, not everybody's going to get with the program and be a good citizen. I get that. That's fine. We'll deal with those when they come. It's just part of it. But if we're really going to be this community, we can't do that to new people coming in. Okay? Those new people, they're the lifeblood of what we do. If you have any aspirations at all to breed, you got to reach out to those folks. Okay? Because those folks, they're going to be, your customers. Some of them aren't going to make it. Okay? Some of them are going to get a few snakes and never go past that. Just have pets, and that's fine. Some people go, I want to breed, and they're going to buy a bunch, otherwise it's too much for them, and sell out and only keep one or two or get out of it completely. But some of them are going to make it. Some of them are going to turn into what we've turned into, or bigger, and we're not big by any stretch of the imagination. But we all started there at some point. A lot of people started before the Facebook and the internet was a big thing that it is now, or as big. But when you go in there and you treat those new people like dirt, okay, and you just kick them and kick them and kick them and kick them, and I know most people on here probably don't do that, and the people that need to read this or hear this probably will never hear it. You're going to alienate them. A lot of them are then going to be, they're not going to stay with it. The other thing that's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of other people in there who are new, who before they ask a question, because it's an easy to go to, hey, what about this? They're going to be afraid, because they're going to see that last person who asked that question or posted something get just ripped to shreds, and then they're going to be afraid to ask. So if they're afraid to ask, their animal may not get the help it needs, right? It may not get somebody who can help them with that. And so if we're going to be a community, I think we all collectively, okay, need to work on that approach of when new people come in. And we can all do a better job of it. I'm not sitting here and saying I'm a saint, okay? Because understand, when I talk about this, I got in those Facebook groups. I never really got much into just ripping people. That was never my thing. But did I sit idly by and watch it happen sometimes? Yeah. And let's be honest, when you see people making nice wisecracks on Facebook and tearing some, a part of it's kind of funny, right? I mean, it is. But it's the same thing that happens everywhere on the internet scale now. But then at some point, if you step back and you look at what's really happening, it ain't funny anymore. It's no longer a joke. You're killing the hobby. When you start taking people who want in and you push them out, you're killing the hobby. And that's it too. This is a hobby, and this is a community. There's a few people who have made huge businesses out of it, but the vast majority of people breeding today, okay, the vast majority, they're never going to make a huge business out of it. I'm not going to tell you that one day Kurt and I are going to have a warehouse with 1,000 snakes doing 800 clutches a year, and just, that's probably not going to happen, because I don't think it's what either one of us really want out of this. It'd be great if we could do this full time. Absolutely. I'm not going to lie to you and say that's not part of my goals. It is. But it's not to become this huge conglomerate corporation. Some people want that. They want that. That's great. I got no problem with that. But the vast majority aren't going to get there. Okay? A lot of things have to go right for you to get there. Now, for me, one thing, we started when we were in our 30s. Okay? So we're probably not ever going to get to that size. So we're always going to be these smaller breeders. These guys in the basement. These guys with a small business who are making ends meet maybe, but not huge. I can't afford to alienate customers. I want to bring those customers in. They'll bring more customers in. I want this to become more accepted. I want when somebody goes, yeah, I got a ball python, the neighbors don't go, oh my God, my neighbor has a python. I want it to become so commonplace and so normal that it's just accepted. Like, you have dogs, cats, and people have reptiles. And the most common reptile being a snake. And we're not that far from that, I don't think. And I think we can get there. Like, I really do. Because they do make amazing pets, depending on what you're looking for. So that's kind of what I guess my thing is if you've ever had that happen to you, don't be afraid to speak up. So I'll tell you, man, I know it has. I've watched it. I used to watch it almost become a daily occurrence, to the point that there's very few Facebook groups I participate in. Now, with that, does that mean that every Facebook group is bad? No. Does that mean every person on Facebook is bad? No. It's not what I'm saying at all, okay? Most of those groups started out with very good intentions. Then the problem is a few cancers seep in. Those cancers start ruling the roost as far as how they comment and treat people go, and nobody keeps them in check because they don't want to be the next person that gets ripped into. So that's why you don't see a lot of us in those Facebook groups. At least that's why you don't see me. And I'm going to guess if you start looking and you think about some of the other names that you know that actually do a lot of breeding that are way bigger than me, you don't see them in those groups a lot, do you? You don't see them going there and helping people because it's just this mass destruction. And I would like to get back where we can do that. We have to kind of be a better community. Speaking of community versus business, let's look at what we're doing and let's look at what other people are doing. Again, I'm going to pick on Brian Gundy. And dude, I'm sorry, I didn't talk to you before. I just called you out by name like 3 times. You know, like I said, when I was first starting out, I learned a lot from watching his videos. One of them that I'll never forget was how to tell females are grabbing. I was struggling with that. I watched Gundy's videos. I watched a lot. Pretty sure I messaged him and talked to him a few times, and he messaged me back. We went back and forth, and he helped me. John Dog from JD Constrictions, another one that when I was getting into Exanthic really helped me start to understand Exanthic, understand what's going to make them nice, understand how to breed those, not just Exanthic to Exanthic, but like improving your line, your holdbacks, what I was doing to make the snake that I wanted. And I have Zeus now because I spent hours talking to John 5 years ago. Okay? That's why I've got this dude right here. I wouldn't have this guy had John not been willing to sit and conversate with me. I might, but it wouldn't, probably wouldn't have done as good a job of making it. Because it was hand-picked the breeders to get exactly what I was looking for. So those things come from that. If we're going to be a bunch of businesses, okay, we're not going to be a community, let me tell you, man, then people like Brian Gundy shouldn't have helped me figure out how to tell when snakes are grabbing. People like John shouldn't have helped me figure out how to make the exact type of snake I want. Because, if you go into, let's say you go into Google, and you say, hey, man, I really want to be part of this artificial intelligence community. Can you give me all your code? Can you help me learn how to do that? Google's going to tell you to sit on it and spin, right? They're not going to give you those business secrets. They're not going to tell you how they do things because businesses are built a lot of times to protect what they do different, to protect their secrecy. Communities are built to share. Brian was, and I'm talking Brian Gundy, talk about any one of the Brians. Hell, I don't care if you're talking about Gundy, Cusco, or Barchek. They're all were willing to share, right? If I needed help. Still to this day, and vice versa. And so was John. So were other people. So was Eric White, who does TGR. So was Reed, who does tall grass. And Eric does tall grass too. It's kind of a weird combination there. So all those people were willing to share with me to let me become what I've become. And help me along in getting where I'm at today. Right? So I guess what I'm asking is, let's be a community. And that's what I want to do is I want to share with you all as well. I want you all to share with others. Because none of us are the end-all, be-all. And if I start protecting the little things I learn and not sharing them, like what I look for to make this, or how I set up my pros because it works really well for me, or how I do my incubation chamber, and how I do my incubator because it's a little bit different, and my incubation chambers are, I stole them from somebody else, I'm not going to lie, but how I do them to get the hatch rate I have, which by the way was 95% plus last year, okay? And the year before, I think it was 89, and the year before that was 100. So, anyway, and now the 100%, it was a small year, so it's kind of a, outlier. You can't really count that as statistically relevant. But what I'm getting at is I wouldn't share those methods if I wanted to be the largest, best business. But it's more of a community. I want you to be successful, whether you're keeping a snake, whether you're keeping 50 snakes, whether your aspirations is to grow bigger than me and beat me in every category, that's fine. I don't care. I want you to be successful. I want anybody coming in our community to feel welcome and be successful. So I guess what I want to do is find a way to make this a more welcoming place, and I'm probably kind of in the back of my mind right now, and we kind of just shot this, we just shot it like we do everything. I'm kind of thinking a little bit about Cusco. If you haven't watched that guy, go check out Triple B TV a little bit, because he mentioned, wanting to have this community, and it really got me thinking about what's wrong in our community, what can we do better, and can we all do it? We can. So that's kind of where I'm at. What I want to see is I really want to see us treat the new people coming in better and treat each other better. Okay, give each other a little bit of leeway here, treat each other better, help each other out. When you see that new person coming in, don't dump that temptation to be funny and just tear them down because you're just kicking them out of the hobby. and we need all the people we can get. The more it grows, the more of a voice we have against the laws that people want to pass against us, against people like PETA, who, you all know, I mean, every one of us hates PETA. No, they're going to come on here and probably say the same thing. You know what, PETA, I hate you. I'll just be honest. You guys are a bunch of jacks. Anyway, see, I tried to clean up the language. Aren't you guys proud of me? All right, so that's kind of where I'm at, and what I wanted to kind of reach out. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do better as well. Like, I'm going to try to make sure that I reach out. What I'm going to attempt to do is be a little bit more involved in a few of the groups that I do feel comfortable in, and trying to help some people. Some of those being, you know, the Positive Pythons group. That one's one I really like. So some of those I'm going to try to be a little more involved in, because I really haven't. Because the way I dealt with all the negativity on the Facebook, on, you know, treating people like crap, was I just unplugged. I said, oh, screw it, I'm just going to stay off Facebook. I started this forum and tried to make it a positive energy type of place, which I think we've done pretty well at. But that doesn't fix the problem now, does it? So it's on me too. I can be a better community member, and I'm going to be, right? So that's what I'm going to work on, and hopefully you guys come along for that journey. Kurt, do you have anything you want to add?
Nope, I think it was, you covered it pretty good.
All right, and I know, we didn't show a lot of snakes. So I'll tell you what, Kurt, give me a snake I should show. Give me one gratuitous snake we should just pull out and talk about.
The black pastel.
Straight up black.
Banana black pastel.
The banana black pastel. All right, we will do that. Where did I stick my banana black pastel at? There he is. I know Kurt's picking this because we just did that live feed video. This guy got probably the most response. Why are you holding on to litter? There you go, buddy. So, this is a really cool combination. This is just a simple 2-gene combination, okay? And it does, I like lavender. You guys know I love purple. We live in Manhattan, you know, which is all K-State. We also are, I'm at least a huge Viking fan. So purple's a big thing, and you can see how much lavender comes out in this snake. If you like your bananas with spots, putting black pastel just brings them out. You guys know I really don't. I'm not a spot guy, but I wanted the lavender. One thing is, you know, if you do a super banana, or super black pastel banana, you could look at doing all lavender. But you got to also be careful, because the super black pastel has some issues with kinking and duck billing and all of that. And you can also put it with cinnamon, but you're going to get the same type of results, which is an allelic trait, which we'll do an entire video on those kind of things here very, very soon. So that's something you can do with it. But the cool thing is, you know, you're putting in two, like, opposite spectrum genes. You know, banana is obviously really bright, a lot of oranges and yellows. And the black pastel, tell by its name, it's a darkening gene. And you end up with this really cool snake, the way they play together. Black pastel banana was one of the first things I wanted to make with banana. And guys, I love this dude. This is our holdback. We did 2 of these. We sold the other one through our Patreon page. We kept this one. He is massive. He eats like a beast. He's awesome. I just love how the alien heads are completely filled with the purple color. It is so cool. You know, it is so cool. We'll be using him as a breeder male down the road. Anything you want to add about this thing, Kurt?
That I'm not a huge fan of the freckles either, but you know, a lot of people do like them.
I can tell you, he's in a few jobs. He'll probably end up going to our banana female too to do some, try to go for some super banana black pastels, and that's something I really want to make. The reason is the super banana usually doesn't get any freckles, right? It's freckle free. So if I do a super banana black pastel, my hope is for this look a little more highlighted and to clean out all those black speckles. Will it work? I don't know. Maybe. It's probably been done before already. I just haven't gone looking for it. That's one girl that I know he's going to end up breeding to, and no, it's not his sister. You can get away with that, but in this case, it's not his sister. Actually, I think they're completely unrelated. I think he is offspring from a banana we were watching, that we used as a breeder when we were watching it with permission. I think the banana female I have is an offspring from a different father to a different mother. So I think they're actually completely unrelated. If not, they share a father but different moms. So that's kind of where we're at on that. Just cool little snakes. Love them. Love them. Although I'll tell you what, that spot on his head, I always think it's dirt every time. It took me like months to get used to that. And he is an offspring from this last year, of being 2017, and we're just into 18 now. All right, Kurt, anything else?
No.
All right, we'll put in the comments. We'll put in the description still at the end to see the snake. And also, like I say, go down there in the comments, you know, take a minute, like it, subscribe to us if you haven't, and tell me your experience in the community. Has it been good? Has it been bad? Has it been kind of a mixed bag? And if you're somebody who's newer in the community, so you haven't been here that long, you're just kind of finding your way, and you had one of those bad experiences, tell us about it. Tell us how it affected you and your thoughts on what you were getting into. I think that message is more powerful than I can ever say. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.